Hey guys, welcome to a new tutorial about how to set up an Icecast server and make a web radio, part 2. In this tutorial I will be explaining how to secure the Linux server we created with DigitalOcean last time, with some basic tricks. We will also be looking into multiple source clients for the web radio, server-based and local-based. Then we will choose one of those source clients. I will be using some broadcaster, but that will be explained later on. And we will set up a local-based source client, and later on we will also set up a server-based source client. Alright, so first of all I will show you a demo of a local and a server-based client. First of all I will show you the a diagram of how things work. So you've got multiple sections, yeah? You've got the World Wide Web, where you will stream your web radio to. So that can be it can be a website with a flash player or an app with a audio player in it, etc. The web radio needs to get all those, well, music files from a streaming server, yeah? So the streaming server basically manages the streaming of local files, other streams, etc. Now you can have multiple clients. You can have a server-based client, or you can have a local client. Both can stream audio files, so it depends on what you need. You can also use both. Um, and basically the client sends, so it can be a server based or a local client, but the client sends the radio, so the music files, to the server, and then that server encodes them again and streams them to the World Wide Web. Now when you have a local client you have a program, for example Sam Broadcaster. I will show you how Sam Broadcaster looks. This is Sam Broadcaster. With this, you can basically select your music file, you make a queue, you can control anything, you can use sound effects, etc. That was really loud, damn. And then with the encoder, you can send it to your server. So the server gets the inputs and outputs it to the web radio again. Now, as you see, you can also have a server-based client. So this server-based client can run on on the same streaming server as the Icecast server. So we will also be using the droplets from DigitalOcean we created before, and we will run a server-based client on this. In this example, I will be using Liquid Soap, and I will show you. This is Liquid Soap, it's a web page. It's basically a streaming client you can run on Linux, and as you can see I've got my Icecast server running, and I've got two mount points. One is the live mount point, and this is from my local based client, and I've got one mount point which is from my server based client. And I will also show you how I will close this, how a server-based client looks like. It's nothing more than a command prompt. I've got the Liquid Soap running already, yeah, and I've got a directory with OGG files in it, which is basically used for streaming the audio. So when I check my configuration, you can basically see that I've got some playlists which the client uses to stream to the Icecast server, and where it comes over here again. Alright, so now you have seen the differences between a local and a server based client. We will start on the first point, and that's securing our Linux server. Now, when we got the droplet from DigitalOcean, um, you got an email from them with an IP, a user, root, and a password. Now, this isn't really secure because when you log in, you're using plain text login. So you're using a user and a password to log in, um, and that can be brute forced. So that basically means when an attacker wants to get your password from your server, they can try any password available um, with a default root user, and when they guess the root user login password, they can basically do anything because the root login password, the root user has got all the permissions. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna disable the root login. We're gonna disable the plain text login. So we need to use a private key. We're gonna create a new user wherewith we can log in with. And we're gonna create an SSH key for the new user and put that inside the authorized keys, and then we're gonna reset SSH and try to log in again. Alright, so first of all, what we're gonna do is we're gonna edit the SSH configuration. Okay, and we're gonna search for this one, permit root login. Yeah, we're gonna disable this, so we're not gonna allow the root user to log in, so we're gonna set this to no. And we're also gonna search for this. So password authentication is commented out, and the permit empty passwords is commented. So we're not gonna allow password authentication. So it was set to yes, but we're gonna set it to no. Yeah, and we're not gonna permit empty passwords. Now basically, when we set this password authentication to no, we're not gonna allow plain text logins anymore. So you need to have a SSH key. And this is just another security feature that basically does that you can't log in without a password. Alright, so we're gonna save this, hit Ctrl X, yeah, hit Y, and hit enter. Now it's saved. And now if we restart, just don't do this, but if we restart the SSH service, yeah, and I'm gonna clone this, you will see that it's gonna say that it disconnected me because I've got no support authentication method because I'm not using an SSH key. Yeah. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna create a new user. I'm gonna call it administrator. Yeah. I'm gonna give it a password. Yep. Hit Y. And I'm gonna create an SS key for this new user, so I can use this key instead of using plain text. Now I'm gonna switch to the user, yeah, and I'm gonna create a directory called SSH, yeah. Oh wait, I'm gonna create a directory called SSH. As you can see, we've got a new directory, yeah, and inside of this, it will make its keys. Now we're gonna create a new key, a new RSA SSH key with a total of 2048 bits. Yeah. Now as you can see, it's gonna create its new key inside the home administrator.ssh ID RSA. This will be the private key. And we're gonna enter a password for this key for another extra security feature. And as you can see, it's created its key. Now if you output the inside of the directory, you will see we've got two different files. The ID RSA is the private key, so you need this one on your local computer, on your client, to log into the server. And this is the public key. This is the key that the server will use. Now, one more thing we need to do. As you can see over here, we need to we've created the key, and now we need to put it inside authorized keys. So basically, when we make an authorized keys file with the content of the private key inside of it, it's gonna tell the SSH servers that only that specific key is allowed to log in. So we're gonna output the public key inside authorized key. So you need to be inside of the SSH directory, yeah? Okay, so when we check the authorized keys files now, you will see that it's got the public key inside of it. So now, when now we need to log in with this new key. Okay, so I'm gonna output the private key, so without the .pop, inside of the console. And as you can see, this is the private key. I'm just gonna simply select it, which in PuTTY will copy it. Yeah. Then I'm gonna open Notepad, make a new file, put it in there, and I will save this file. Alright, so save this key somewhere where you will remember it and where it's, well, safe to save it, so you won't remove it. Now, if you use WinSCP and PuTTY the same like I do, then we need to configure WinSCP to use the new key we created. So, how to do that? We're gonna open a new session. Yeah, so go to WinSCP, open a new session. Not gonna show you what kind of servers I've got configured over here. So, but we're gonna fill in the IP of our droplet over here. Yeah, so the new username will be administrator, and we need to click on advanced. Okay, so now I'm first gonna send off 0 packages, so it keeps a connection, and now we need to put in our private key file. However, because this RSA key is made in a different output than WinSCP uses, like we see here, we'll get an error. Okay, so first of all, we need to open PuTTYgen, the PuTTY generator. We're gonna load in our key, so the ID RSA key, and well, it will ask me for the password, like we filled in the server. And as you can see, it successfully imported the foreign key. Now, as you can see, it's imported it. Now the only thing we need to do is save it again as a private key. Doesn't matter what you will fill in as long as it's a PPK. And now WinSCP should be able to use this new imported key. So we're going to try it again. Open this key, and zoom. We're gonna click on login, and as you can see, it's using the username administrator, and it's using the new imported key. I'm gonna fill in my password, and as you can see, we're logged in. Now, when we try to duplicate this session, so we're still logged in with root on the old session, when I'm gonna try to duplicate it, it's not gonna work. Yeah, so we successfully made this thing working. And the only thing we need to do again is restart our servers. Oh. Oh wait, I haven't got. Okay, so servers sshd restart. Next up, we will be looking into multiple source clients of Icecast, because now we've got our Icecast server running. The next thing we need to do is create, make, configure, whatever, we need to get a client to stream audio files. Now, when we go to the Icecast website and go to the apps, you can see that they've got multiple source clients listed, which you can use. Yeah, and one of those clients is called Liquid Soap. I'm gonna explain how to set up this client in this tutorial. And Liquid Soap is a server-based client, so it's gonna run on the same server as the Icecast server, and it's gonna stream audio files that we've put inside a directory over here, and it's basically gonna stream this to the Icecast server to make audio in the Icecast server. Now, there's also a so this is a server-based client. Now there are also local-based clients. For example, Sam Broadcaster. I've used this a lot, and I really like this. They've got a lot of features. They've also got a cloud-based client, so you can configure anything in the cloud. But it's pretty expensive. It's well, $300. But you get anything with it. So as I showed in the demo, you can basically do anything you want with it. It's even got more features than I showed you. However, there are also some other clients, so you need to decide yourself what you would like to use. There's also a client called Virtual DJ. You may know it, but as the same as Sam Broadcaster, it's expensive because it's also $300. Now, personally, I don't really like Virtual DJ. It's got a lot of features as well, and you can do a lot with it. Basically anything you want, but I don't like the interface myself, so that's a personal thing. Now, the last local-based client I'm going to show you guys is WinAmp. This is a free client, and with this you can also stream to your Icecast server. So from your computer to the Icecast server, I've already installed it. So you can just download it, and as you can see, it's running right now. I haven't really used it. I know you can stream with it, but you need a third-party extension. Now I'm gonna show you guys how to install this. Um, First of all, you need a WinAmp Icecast DSP plugin. I will put the link in the description. You need to download two files, and that is I will show you in a second. Okay. Okay, so you need these two files. You need the Icecast WinAmp, and you need a lame encoder. Now, once you've downloaded these files, you need to install this one, and you need to move this one to the directory of the WinAmp installer. So I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna go to my computer. I think I've got in program files. Yeah, there we've got WinAmp over here, and I'm gonna place it over here. And as you can see, I've already got it in there. So I'm just gonna copy it again. And with this feature, so it hasn't got a default streaming feature inside of WinAmp, but with this feature, you can go to Options, Preferences, and go way down to Plugins, DSP/Effects. Now, when you click on the Icecast DSP fee free, you will get a new window called Icecast. I'll delete this one. I've created this one before. So when you get inside of this new menu, we're gonna add an encoder to stream audio to our Icecast server. Now we need to configure it. So click on configure, and we need to configure. First of all, we need to configure the IP. Yeah, the IP will be the same IP as the droplets server, because Icecast is running on our droplet. It's this server over here, the Icecast server. And the second thing, it's really important to change the encoder password. Now, if you remember from the last part, we created this password inside our icecast.xml, and it's the same password. You should use the source password over here. Yeah, so fill in this password, and you can leave the mount point as it is. You can change it what you would like to do yourself. Now we're gonna just call this WinAmp encoder, and we're gonna click OK. Now, as you can see, it's not connected yet, so we're gonna click connect. It's connected. We're also gonna auto connect it. Next time we're gonna open WinAmp, because I like that. And now, when you're gonna play music, it's gonna stream this music. Everything you do in WinAmp, it's gonna stream it towards the Icecast server. So I'm gonna just play this music file, and as you can see, it's connecting in a few seconds. Okay, and now when we check the Icecast, as you can see, it's streaming with 67 kilobytes per second. Now when we check the mine point list again, you can see that it's got a new stream called stream.ogg. So WinAmp is connected. It's a free program and it works very well.